Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Rayu. My name is Nuraini. Okay, Here we are. Would like to present about challenge, hope, and progress. Okay, the first is challenge. Here I'll tell you guys how JDBD works as giving us understanding to focus on the customer desire self-betterment, such as help us to overcome the challenge. So this is the first challenge. Creative disruption is accelerating. I said this when one innovation wins, another loses. For example, every day I used to get espresso from a coffee shop down the street, and then 2 months ago I bought a new espresso machine. Now I can make my own coffee by myself. So the coffee shop has lost my business. For another example, long time ago people have to go to cinema to watch a movie. Nowadays we can watch a movie every time, anywhere using your own mobile phone. And then for the next challenge is some costs keep us from creating new products. This is Kodak. Okay, in the long time ago, engineers Kodak told the management that the engineer found digital camera, but what management said to the engineer? We make $1 billion with our current product. Why risk is by selling something different? We have spent 100 years perfecting what we do and building the company we have today. Why should we change? That's the management say. Okay, and then Kodak's management decided that the company would skip the digital camera and focus on selling photographic films. So here, nowadays customer needs to switch to digital camera. So Kodak faced bankruptcy, and then here GTBD do give you the confidence to break away from legacy business model and create product of tomorrow. And then the next challenge is it's mistake to focus on customer physical characteristic. Our behavior, physical characteristic, life's goal, and personal histories couldn't be more different. Nevertheless, we bought on the same model of smartphone. Nowadays, we have same model smartphone. We even use it almost the same way. So we have to do research with the problem customer itself. So here GTBD help you to knowing the different good data and bad data. So you will have to focus on making change to your product increase and instead of increasing cost, cross production. And then next is we don't take into consideration how customers see competition. For example, the code to call, a low cost feature minimal refrigerator, it was held as a disruptive innovation that will create new market of refrigerator and create with Christensen calls inclusive growth for millions, a low-income Indians. But unfortunately, the code-to-call was costly fluke there because the code-to-call created and sold as pseudo-scientific theories of innovation. Failure exact terrible calls on Indian economics. So that because company doesn't understand customer view competition. They sell innovation only. They sell innovation with high price, but company don't understand that Indian economic with the condition they don't understand with the condition, competition, and future competitor. Okay, for another example, hard drive. Nowadays, hard drive not.
Stop.
Excellence is we don't take into consideration how customers see competition. For example, the Kale, a low-cost, feature-minimal refrigerator, it was hailed a disruptive innovation that will create a new market of refrigerator and create what Christensen calls inclusive growth for millions of low-income Indians. Unfortunately, the Kale was costly fluke. That because the Kale created and sold as pseudo-scientific theories of innovation. And then the failure exacts terrible costs and costs on Indian economics. Here, company doesn't understand Indian economics of low Indian economics. So they lost their customer, and then they don't understand with competitors such as competitors and the economic of India itself. This is the video of competition.
This is one from GadgetUse.com, and today in this video we are going to unbox and review Godrej Chotu Cool. So let's get started.
First of all, note this is not a refrigerator. It is just a cooler, which means you can't freeze items in it or can't keep items that need freezing. So let's see what.
This video of what to call refrigerator.
Only 8% of rural India had access to refrigerators. This statistic led to the innovation of Chotu Cool, Godrej's mini refrigerator that runs on electricity as well as battery. Chotu Cool is the poster boy for disruptive innovation in India. Like email disrupted the existing market for postal mail, Chotu Cool has revolutionized food preservation for low-income households.
India, a country where 1/3 of the total food produced in India is spoiled. An urgent need to nip this alarming number was identified in 2006. And as they say, where there is a need, there is an innovation. In a country where 80% of the people have no access to simple refrigeration, a concept so ordinary in today's urban homes, Godrej introduced Chotu Cool. A low-cost, low-energy refrigerator to provide the comfort of cooling to the sun-scorched households of rural India.
We started understanding non-consumers, basically people who are non-users of refrigerator, and started understanding their life, their living pattern, in their habitat, in their surroundings and all that. And it came out that there were 2-3 things which we looked at. One is what are the barriers to the consumption, why they are not buying a normal refrigerator, existing mini refrigerator which are available in the marketplace. Second, we try to understand their needs, what are the needs they have. And third is, do they really have an aspiration to buy a cooling solution to serve their purpose? The running cost was another issue.
The idea was born at a Harvard University workshop conducted by Professor Clayton Christensen, a pioneer of disruptive innovation. An innovation which creates a new market and eventually disrupts the existing market for a product. A small but significant change in design was introduced by abandoning the compressor technology used in domestic fridges and using a thermoelectric or solid-state cooling system.
We decided to go for a solid state, primarily because that was the simplest thing. A 40 mm by 40 mm by 3 mm chip actually does the cooling as against our 12 kg of a mass which is called compressor.
Innovating to save a struggling refrigerator industry, in 2008, Chotu Cool was born. A 45-litre fridge that can cool food to around 8 to 10 degrees Celsius on a 12-volt battery at the cost of just 3,700 rupees. That's half the price of the cheapest refrigerator you'd find in the market.
A country like India, to be frugal is absolutely essential. Because we don't have too many resources, and we really don't have enough resources for the large population that we have. There's no way that we can eradicate the population, nor can we multiply the resources in a short period of time. We have to be resource efficient and we have to be resource effective. So it is important to be frugal. It is important to be cost effective.
With affordability and accessibility at the heart of Chotu, Godrej is the only white good manufacturer in India to address the need of the rural poor by creating a new product category for this invisible consumer segment. But targeting this new segment of consumers meant rejecting standard models of distribution to ensure that one who needs a Chotu gets a Chotu.
A lot of people talk in terms of reaching out to the market and logistics and everything, which pertains to the visible part of the market, where roads exist, the highways exist, the warehouses exist, the people who reach out there exist. We really have to look at places which people cannot reach. And that's where this logic of post office came, that India Post reaches out to so many places. How do they do it? They didn't have the courier system, they didn't have the rocket scientists to do that. They have been reaching it out for more than 100 years.
This tie-up with India Post is making sure Chotu is reaching the remotest corners of India and impacting the lives of thousands of households.
One of the stories which really makes me feel that yes, it has impacted the small pawn shop in Nasik. It's just outside a big hotel. He's selling cold pan out of that, cold meetha pan. He prepares in the morning time and keep it inside it so that during the day it gets cool. Earlier he was using a brick of ice to make that, and now he earns over 2 rupees per pan, and it impacts his life in a big way. And he says that very proudly that after buying Chotu, now instead of one Chotu, he has another Chotu, he has 2 Chotu. So the total outflow of pan per day from him has gone up 3 to 4 times more than what he was selling before buying Chotu.
Chotu has taken a leap forward with its new model that bridges the gap between affordability and aspiration. A revamped model was launched earlier this year for a consumer interested in a lifestyle product rather than a functional appliance.
But over the period of time, we started realizing that aspirations are growing very fast for them also. And during that thing, they started looking at the higher-hand customers. When we gone through this journey, we find that the aspiration, some way can we make the solution, functional solution, more aspirational. And that last 3 years of journey is all about that.
In a segment with wafer-thin margins and where the cheapest selling is not the largest selling, Godrej hasn't had it easy. But going strong, this revolutionary product is a clarion call to the culture of innovation that can bring about social impact and still make business sense.
Over the last 8 weeks, we've shown you what an indelible mark India has made.
Okay, next. For another example, hard drive. So nowadays, hard drive not only face another brand of hard drive, but nowadays hard drive also compete with CDs maybe, flash disk, and another cloud drive. So by using GTPD, you learn how to gain the customer perspective on what does and doesn't count as competition. So for the next challenge is we myopically study and improve on customer needs and expectation of today. Instead, we will create new system and help customer make a progress. So this is the picture of Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Long time ago, Coca-Cola losing their market by Pepsi, and then Coca-Cola decide to make a new taste of Coca-Cola, but they doesn't work, and then Coca-Cola decide to back to their original taste of Coke, and then unexpectedly the growth of Coca-Cola increased back. So 3 months later. So here customer job helps you to know what it does, and it doesn't make sense to change your own product. So your product might be fine in that way. Maybe you have to only increase your cost production maybe, or you have to understand you have an opportunity cost. So the next challenge is our decision making can be missed when we manage by visible figures only. Okay, visible figure can be helpful and are often necessary, but we cannot figure-based data defies us, and we have taken into consideration figures that are unknown or unknowable. For example, Twitter. Twitter often faces this explosive monthly user, or we call MAU. Even some analysis that say that Twitter face their debt because they have low MAU at that time. But Twitter continued to make a Twitter more valuable to user, so they want it. So here MAU become a figure that unknown. So Twitter should do another innovation that make customer feel Twitter are more valuable and with continuing Twitter product. So here is the like a chart of product. First is innovation, and then fast gains, and then growth solves, and then this casting visible figure. So in this point is maximum of point of growth. So in here we have to do innovation, so it will make a product sales grow continually. And then so if you can measure it, if you can measure where is your product right now, you can manage it. So you have to understand where is your product right now. And then this GTDBD help us become better knowing if we should continue to improve or an existing product, or we have to take a risk and develop new one.
And next about book. What are the features from this book? First is the reader can get the customer job theory, and second can make you an innovator or maybe become better at understanding marketing, innovation, or product design, and singular attention to customers. So this book focus on make the customer focus on their passion, their wants, their demographic, and this one make this customer jobs different for other theory. And this book aim to explain the theory reliably and consistently. And why and this I will explain about hope. And in the second edition of Alan Clement book is in the what are the features from this second edition Alan Clement book is the reader can get the customer job theory and can make you innovator, or maybe make you better than before, make you understand that marketing, innovation, or product design. And this book also gives you collection of principle and is focused on customer passion and focus on their want or their demographic, and this one make this book and this customer job different from other theory. This book aim to explain the theory revealed from I will explain about Hub. What are the features from second edition from Alan Clement book? The first is the reader can get customer job theory and make the reader is innovator or become better at understanding marketer innovation or product design. And the reader can get a collection of principles for understand why customer buy and use the product, and then singular attention to customer desire for self betterment. It means the customers the book focus on customer patient they want the demography, and this make the customer job different for other theory. This book aims to explain the theory reliably and consistently. Why the writer published this theory? Because Alan Clement, the first time he was writing in 2015, no comprehensive book about customer job theory exists. Many others theory, but it's not clear enough. So the Alan Clement make this more clear and easy to do. How the consumer jobs created. Alan Clement interviewed 63 innovators about their struggle with innovation. So then the Alan Clement had to combine his experience with the innovators, and then the most comprehensive and useful ones are featured in this book. So they combine what's the important thing from the innovator, and this include that idea, that important things to his books. The benefit when you read this second edition Alan Clement books is you receive benefit the most. You know you want to be a maker or managers. You will know your passion, you know the principle, you know the experience of many successful innovators. And in the end, you become better at creating and selling product that customer will buy. And alignment and the progress you can make with the customer jobs, alignment and distribute decision making. For alignment and distribute decision making, not only the product we should make better, but we also have to empower employee too. Why? Because employee should give a good service to our customer. But if the employee not give the good service to one customer, maybe the one customer make the influence to other customer. So this make this alignment and sprint decision making to create the employee. The employee have to make good decisions that align with job to be autonomous and innovative, and know what data are and are not needed to for innovation to help creating successful product. You have to know what the data we will use for this case, and don't want it make difficult with the useless data. And this slide, William Bruce Carmon told, not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. GTBD helps create and sustain a growth culture. If you learn about GTBD you will have healthy growth mindset. A lot of people think the business never die, but not all the people know the business also can bankruptcy. So the GTBD help us to have the healthy growth mindset with how our business always grow. And if you already have a healthy growth mindset, you will not wasting time and will not wasting money building product and will get more revenue. And from that, your product always grow. And GPT not to also solve the problem only. GPT give us new and better ways to improve our life situation in meaningful ways. And GPT helps to strengthen existing product to make customer buy more our product. And then customer job is a theory evolved over time. Its principle have slowly evolved over time. How can as a theory, customer jobs persist because it's completely decoupled from describing what kind of product you should make. Focus on understand how all customer desire to evolve themselves. So you need such a theory to help you become better at innovation. In this, we should not focus what kind of your product you make, but focus on how our customer desire to evolve themselves. How to be successful with customer jobs in this book. The first thing is principle. Why we should focus on principle than method and idea? Why? Because method come and go, whereas principles stick around. In fact, when you arrive with the right principle, you can plug in any appropriate method and metal models. You might even create your own meal. And while this idea may cost you some assistance, over time you will find it's empowering. So, in this book, you will get so many principles. If you get the principle, you can create your own method. After study and application of principle instead of method, you can get the confidence to act in complex words. How to learn how get the principle. First thing is read the book. Why? Because this book focuses on principle and demonstrates those principles in action. Those case studies. Most chapters also have put it to work section that gives idea on how to apply this principle. So if you want to know the many principles, so you always read this book and stay tuned. That's it. That's all.
What is it?
The Alan Clement said, part 1, the job to be done. Our journey begins with an introduction to customer job theory and the idea of customer having a job to be done. This section will equip you with strong foundation to understand what is meant to do to study customer and what is the vital part of innovation. The Alan Clement, the first his did business is at 2003.